Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're obviously in a different space. So I'm in my bathroom today because I wanted to film a video on how I clean my makeup brushes. So I'm going to go into detail on how I clean my brushes, how I sterilize them, different types of brushes, and how to clean them. Everything I use to clean my brushes, because I feel like a lot of people use a lot of different things. Everything I use in this video, like the products that I use, are all affordable products. So you don't have to go buy like I was looking on Amazon the other day, and I think it's called Cinema Secrets. It's a brush cleaner. It was like $42 for like a big size of it, and like the little ones were like $20-some, $30. And I was like, why? You don't need that. You need just a few products that you probably already have at home, and you can get a good clean to your brushes. So yeah, I wanted to do that today for you guys because I feel like it's always helpful to have these kinds of videos, and I need to clean my makeup brushes, so I figured why not film it and show you guys how I do it. And don't mind my sink. This is a rental, so I mean, you can't help it. Also, if you're hearing all these thumps and if the camera moves, it's because I have 4 kittens and 3 cats running around like crazy people. Here's one right here. You say hi? No? You not say hi? Say hi. Okay. Also, if it's echoey in here, I'm in the bathroom, so I'm super sorry. It might just be like that throughout the video. Hopefully when I'm closer up and in the sink, it won't be as bad. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I clean my makeup brushes, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we're at my sink, obviously. So I wanted to show you first what I use to clean my brushes. So I use a soap. This one right here is just from the dollar store. I talked about this in my Dollar Tree video. It's just the oatmeal and coconut scented soap. And it's just your typical, white soap. And then I have my little soap dish over here. So I just set this on here and then have it right here to clean the brushes. Also, I have a little bowl right here, which I'll put a little bit of the Dawn soap in. So I just use regular Dawn soap, and then I use a little bit, just like literally like a dash of alcohol, like straight, what is this, 50% alcohol. This is obviously kind of hard to find right now, but I've had this for a while. So I literally do like not even a teaspoon of this, or maybe a teaspoon I do of the alcohol. So I'm going to go ahead and put the soap in the bowl. Just do like a little bit. And then the alcohol, I'll do, oh, that was a bit too much. I literally didn't mean to pour that much, but just a little bit of alcohol. So I wanted to show you guys first foundation brushes. So obviously foundation, you use liquids, so you're going to have the most product in them. And then I have this little mat down here. It has like different textures on it. So this will clean your brush. I got this from like TJ Maxx or something for like $5. I think I literally saw these at the dollar store, like a little one for $1 obviously the other day. But it just has different textures. I like to use different parts of it for different sized brushes. So I'll go ahead and wet my brush. I always use warm water or like lukewarm. You don't want to use cold water, always warm water. I'll dip it into my little soap and alcohol concoction, and then I will start swirling on this little mat. I'm not going to use the soap just yet. So I will go ahead and just swirl this around. And then I'll turn on the water and kind of rinse it and go back and forth. Okay, so now is when I'll take the brush onto my little soap bar and just start swirling it till it gets like a little bit sudsy. And then I'll go ahead and go back onto the mat and just start swirling it around. And you can already see how dark the foundation was at first and how light it's getting because it's mainly clean. I just want to make sure it's all out because obviously foundation brushes, I feel like contain, I feel like they hold the most makeup because, I mean, if you think about how much you use a foundation brush and all the liquid you're putting in it, it's a lot. So I will go ahead and just keep swirling until it's almost white, and then I'll go ahead and rinse again. When you squeeze the water out, you want it to be clear, so there was still just a little bit of that beige color to it. So I'm going to go back to my soap bar and just swirl it a little bit, and then just swirl it back on here on the little mat, and it's completely white, but I'm still just going to swirl it just to make sure everything's out of it, and then just rinse it off. Okay, so now you can see the brush is nice and clean. Also, this bar soap makes your brushes so freaking soft. So then I have a towel over here on the toilet, and I just lay each brush over there as I'm done. I'll show you guys when we're all done cleaning them. Okay, I went ahead and switched sides, so hopefully you guys can see better. Plus, I'm right-handed, so I felt like I was like blocking the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys an eyeshadow brush. So this is just like a big fluffy blending brush that I use literally like every single day, and it's white haired. These sometimes I feel like don't come all the way clean, but we'll see. So I'll do the same thing. I'll go ahead and wet the brush with warm water, and then I'll go ahead and dip it into that little concoction of soap and alcohol, and then I will take this straight from here onto the bar of soap. And I'll just start swirling it on here and just kind of coat it with this soap. And like I said, this soap makes your brushes like so soft, but you really have to make sure that when you clean your brush off, like when you're rinsing it off, you really get all that soap out of it, or it'll dry all funky, it'll look all funky. Like you really just want to make sure you get all the soap out of it. So then I go on the part of the mat that has like the smallest texture to it to really get in there, and I'll just swirl my brush until you can see it like get from like a beige color and then it gets to white. So I'll kind of move it over here to see, so you can see it's like white soap now. So I'll go ahead and rinse my brush off, and I always use my fingers to like comb through the brush to really get that soap out of there. And then just kind of squeeze the water out of it. So then you can see it's nice and clean. And that took, what, like 1 minute? Not even. You can see the hairs of this. I've had this for a while, so the hairs of this do go like all over the place. But I find brushes like this the best to blend eyeshadow with. I don't know why, but I feel like I used nicely washed brush like this works really well. So for my eyeshadow brushes, I will wipe them off on a towel and then set it down just so it dries a little bit faster. So I have this towel over to the right side of me on my toilet, and I just take it over there and just kind of rub it in here and really just make sure everything is out of it, you know, like back and forth, circles in every direction, and you can see nothing came out of the brush, so it is nice and clean. Okay, so now I want to show you guys this bright pink makeup brush. This is like a denser little packer brush, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wet it. I'm going to dip it. And then I'm going to go straight onto the soap, and you can start to see the color come out of it already. And I'll just kind of saturate it in the soap. And then I'll go over to the smallest little texture part over here and do the swirling. And I go in like every direction, like circles, like clockwise, counterclockwise, and then like back and forth, just to really get everything out of it. Rinse it off, and then rub it on the clean towel, and the tip of it is actually white again and not pink. So I feel like this is like the quickest way to clean your makeup brushes. Also, when you're laying them down, always lay them flat when they're drying. So that way that the water doesn't get up into the brush handle, because it can mess up the brushes. And a lot of brushes I've had, the handle part has fallen off because I've done that before and just like left it up like this and put it back in the cup or the brush holder, and you don't want to do that. You want to leave it flat or even like slanted like this. That way the water, if it did get in the handle, is running downwards and not into your brush, because it can damage it. And of course, I do go in and you want to clean all your handles off. If you think about it, you're touching this every day and touching other things and whatnot. So I always go in after, and when I'm cleaning off my brush and I go to set it down, I will go in and clean the handle of it off and just make sure I wipe it down. Alright, so now I want to show you a less dense kind of powder brush. So same thing. All nice and wet. I'm going to dip it. And I'm just going to lightly brush it onto the soap. And any soap really works. I'm telling you, I've tried so many different kinds. It doesn't need to be like Dove or, you know, anything. This is from the dollar store, like I said. So then I'll go in and swirl it like before. Since it is like a less densely packed brush, I am more gentle with it. You don't want to be like fiercely rubbing it. I just like kind of gently go side to side, back and forth, and I'll use all these different textures and I'll just kind of swirl it around and really just make sure I'm like getting up to the top. So I'll push it all the way back and forth and then rinse it out. Then we have a nice clean powder brush. And I will go ahead and dry it off in the towel and lay it down. Alright, so now I'm just going to do a bunch more for you guys, and I'll just go ahead and put it in fast forward because I don't want to bore you. Okay, so then I wanted to show you guys how I clean my sponges while we're here doing the brushes. I totally forgot to mention this in my intro, but I'm just going to show you a few. I'm sure you don't want to see me clean all of these sponges. So I'm just going to do a marble one. I'll do one of these like microfiber ones, and then this little Wet n Wild one just to show you. So for the sponges, it's literally the same. I literally do the same exact thing, except for I'm not going to be scrubbing it on the mat. I'm just going to be scrubbing it against my hand just to get the gunk out. I have found that some of my sponges are stained, just like I have a few white-haired brushes that are stained. It's just, you know, how it is if you have it for a while. So then obviously I'll go out and get a new one. But you can see how dirty this is right here, and then I'll show you what it looks like after cleaning it. And then I will take the soap off of my dish, and I'll rub it against here. And just, you're going to want to make sure it's wet when you're rubbing, so it has like, I like that sudsiness to it. And I'll just keep wetting it. I hope you can hear me with the faucet, but I'll just keep wetting it and pushing against the sponge, and you'll see the product start to come out of it. It's kind of cool. Okay, so then once I feel like I've gotten like all sides of it, I'll use my fingers and really push the soap up into the sponge and really kind of just work my fingers in there and really just try to get all the product that I can out of it. And then I'll go ahead and rinse it out. Okay, so now you can see, so there is like some like staining spots on there, but you can see how much cleaner it is. It's kind of crazy. And it's obviously like huge now. That's the only thing, but yeah, it gets your sponges super, super nice and clean. And I've had this for a while. If it was a newer sponge, it'd be clean so much faster. So yeah, that's what I do with my sponges, and I'll show you a few of them in fast forward. So here's this Wet n Wild sponge. Again, super, super clean. It has a few spots on it, but it's just crazy how clean it gets it. Here's that microfiber sponge. This is from Juno & Co. These ones are a lot harder to clean. I need to get the cleaner that they have, but this still works. It just doesn't ever get everything out, I feel like, but it still definitely works. You can see like how clean it got. There's still some soap left in there I need to clean out, but it looks so much better. It's always like the most satisfying thing watching all the foundation and concealer and whatnot like soak out of my sponges. I feel like cleaning my sponges is actually kind of therapeutic. Cleaning my brushes is more tedious, but I just love seeing the before and after of these. It's so satisfying to me. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a few more brushes for you guys and some sponges, and then I'll show you how I dry them. So here are all the brushes. This blue one was my highlighter brush. It was literally brown from all the highlight, and it's finally blue again. This was one of my contour brushes, and then all my white-haired brushes are white again. It makes me so happy. These Wet n Wild ones are always pink. My little rainbow one, this one's pink. This one's like this. I don't know where I got this from. It was like $1 somewhere, but this one is supposed to be that color. But yeah, you can see how nice and clean they are, even the foundation brushes. So here they are. See how I just lay it out? I just lay a towel out on my toilet, and then if I need more space, I'll lay one out on the ground. And then over here is my sponges. I'm so happy the way they turned out. There's still some that have like some stains and whatnot on them. This one does. This one, I feel like all the microfiber ones do. The e.l.f. ones are the best because they don't stain and they're so easy and light. It's like the material is different than any kind of sponge, and of course different from the microfiber ones. These Sonia Kashuk ones I really like too. So I'm just gonna stick to the e.l.f. ones and these ones really. I don't know how I feel about the microfibers. But yeah, all nice and clean. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I know watching people clean their brushes isn't like the most entertaining thing, but it is really helpful, and I hope you guys learned some tips and tricks from me today. So yeah, I just stick with my Dawn dish soap, the alcohol, and then the bar of soap. And again, any bar of soap I've used has worked. dollar store, $10 soap, whatever you want to use. And the trick with your sponges is really just to really get your sponge in that soap and just push the product out of it and go back and forth between the water and then just squeeze it all out. That's what I found the most helpful with my sponges. I've tried so many different ways to clean my sponges and my brushes, and I found this is the quickest, easiest way. Some people do baby oil, baby shampoo. I've heard a bunch of different, little combinations, but this I found to work the quickest, the easiest, just the best, I think. And then the last thing I wanted to mention to you guys is like spot cleaning your brushes. So if I use like a bright pink or a bright purple or a black, or any kind of red that could stain the brush, or if I just want to switch to another color, I found this little e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner, and it just looks like one of their setting mists, obviously in a white bottle instead, and I believe it was between $4 and $8, I don't remember, but e.l.f. is always affordable. So many different spot cleaners out there that are so expensive. Cinema Secrets is one of them. Sephora has one. There's a bunch of different ones out there, and this is just so easy. You just spray it onto like a paper towel or like a washcloth right on your makeup desk, and you just take your brush and you rub it in it, and it doesn't like saturate it or get it wet. It just literally cleans the brush in front of your eyes, and then it's dry and ready to use. So I found this the easiest for that. And yeah, that's really it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I hope you learned something from this video. You don't need to go out and buy all the expensive brush cleaners out there. You can just literally use what you have at home. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.